Welcome back to the Geordie View. So I'm going to do a recap on Newcastle's deadline day yesterday for the January transfer window. We'll start off with the two signings that we made. The first one is Matt Targett on loan from Aston Villa. We did try to sign him in 2017 on deadline day. It was those transfer windows where you just worried, it's going to force Rafa Benitez to leave the club. I mean, he did eventually. I think basically when we wanted a 12-month loan deal from him when he was at Southampton. Southampton only wanted a 6-month loan deal, but we've gone in from Aston Villa on this time round. He was actually named as the Players Player of the season for them last season. Of course, he played in all 38 games. You know, they were very good in that. I was impressed with them in the first half of the season, but they just weren't quite the same in the second half. Sorry. But look at Matt Targett's characteristics. Strengths, he's good at aerial duels, holding on to the ball, and concentration. Weaknesses, doesn't really have any really, according to whoscored.com. Obviously, this is where I get this information from. But of course, concentration, that would be important because how many times have we switched off defensively for goals this season? Style of play, he likes to play long balls, he plays the ball off the ground often. So yeah, welcome to Newcastle United, Matt Targett, and Tim, it's just a loan deal. I suppose that if it doesn't work out, then we've got no pressure to buy him. We're going to obviously go in for someone else. But there is talk apparently this could leave Jamal Lewis out the Premier League squad when that gets revised. Personally, I don't agree with that decision, but we'll see. But I think fullbacks were important to get. If you're looking at who we played there against Manchester City in December. Onto the other defender we signed, Dan Buruma. This was obviously agreed before deadline day. £13 million from Brighton. It's a 2.5-year deal. Of course, coming back to his hometown club because he was born in Blythe. I think he had a season ticket at Newcastle. I think I remember also he said along lines of if I score, I'm going to do a Shearer celebration. This is obviously right before we played Brighton in the Premier League under Steve Bruce in 2019. Strengths, defensive contribution, aerial duels. You know, it's good that we've strengthened this defence because we know how bad it's been this season. Weaknesses, holding on to the ball, concentration, style of play, short passes. So I think Shelby could come deep and help him and spray the balls out wide. He likes to tackle, but he does often commit fouls. So yeah, that's what we've got to say about Dan Burn. Kieran Clark's another one who's been rumoured to be left out of the Premier League squad because of this arrival. Him and Lewis turned down loan deals from what I heard. Now if they get left out of the Premier League squad, that's silly from them, in my opinion. But I hope it does spell the end for Kieran Clark and that we can get him out of the club in the summer because he is finished. But as for Burn, I would probably start him alongside Fabian Schär at this moment in time. Will Eddie Howe do that? I don't know. You'll probably put faith in Lascelles if he's fit. But it should be Schär and Burn right now with Fernandez out injured. But welcome to Newcastle United, Dan Burn. And I mentioned that Shearer celebration. We got if he could do it in a black and white shirt, say he scored from a corner. We'll talk about a couple of moves, players we were going for, but we didn't get them. Hugo K from Stade Reims had a big bid accepted, 20 to 25 million. Would have been good to have another attacker in because of the injuries, to Callum Wilson. Apparently Chris Wood might be out. They haven't given him hearing some COVID thing with New Zealand. But Ekitike, it was a lot of money for him for a 19-year-old, but I think it's all. Of course, he didn't actually have to register in the squad. The problem was he wasn't wanting to move abroad. You know, that's understandable. I mean, 19 and this would have been quite short notice for him. Personally, if whilst Callum Wilson's out, I would like to see either one of Santiago Munoz or Dylan Stevenson on the bench. Because I know Munoz has been training with the first team. Stevenson is doing well for the under-23s. This is if Dwight Gale's left out the squad. By the way, I'm surprised what the clubs aren't really interested in Dwight Gale at this moment in time. Man, this is why we shouldn't have given him that 3-year contract. Last week, I mean, you don't even give him a 1-year contract, but 3. Come on, man. Cheers, Steve Bruce, but never mind. We'll move on to the next player, the other big lad many missed out on, Jesse Lingard. Now, he wanted to leave Manchester United. No interest in renewing his contract. He wanted to get out so he can play some football on a more regular basis. We were interested. West Ham were interested, as you'd expect after how I did on loan there last year. I think Tottenham have been credited with interest. You know, we've offered to pay. You know, we've offered these loan fees, but then Man United said, no, you've got to pay the survival bonus. Like, it's just stupid. Like, I don't know what they're doing, Man United. Player wants to go, right? Fair enough. West Ham, probably, you are competing with them. Newcastle, it's not really that much of a problem. It's absolutely ridiculous. We'll charge Newcastle extra now. I mean, they'll let Anthony Martial go on loan to Sevilla without any loan fees. Man, absolutely stupid from Man United. And I mean, they'll pay for it. They'll lose him on a free in the summer. Maybe we can get him there and then. I mean, this could cost him potentially a place in the World Cup in the winter time, because fair enough, he's probably lucky that it's in the winter, but and not this summer. But you know, how many games are you gonna get to impress Gareth Southgate before you to be able to go to Qatar? But also, we're going to move on to the players that we have loaned out. 5 players were loaned out. The first one, this is confirmed on Saturday, Joe White to Hartlepool. He's a good young talent. I think he signed a contract before this. He did well. I was impressed with him in pre-season. I think if I'm not wrong, he's playing for some England youth teams. But yeah, good luck to Joe White. I'm sure it will go well at Hartlepool. Of course, he is playing alongside the ex-Newcastle youngster Jamie Sterry. I think Hartlepool, if I'm not wrong, are doing quite well in League 2. Because they did go up last season. The next one is Freddie Woodman at Bournemouth. I think we only kept him around because of the situation with Dubravka and Darlow, as I mentioned on Sunday in my video on Guimaraes. Check it out if you haven't watched it, by the way. But Woodman, I just don't think he's really got a future here, if I'm honest, unless, you know, I mean, I just think unless Dubravka anyhow decides he wants a new keeper. But with Woodman, I think maybe it's best he leaves on a permanent basis. Sure, Bournemouth, obviously, they're going for promotion. And if they were to go up, I think they could easily sign Freddie Woodman. Maybe with Swansea, it was harder with the pandemic. And they didn't win promotion. But with Bournemouth, they're challenging. I think you could just go there. Maybe just let him and Darlow go, just for their own careers, because we can't keep everyone. And then you look to have Langley as a backup keeper. Maybe third choice. But Matt Bondswell, who's left back in the under-23s, 19-year-old, has gone on loan to Shrewsbury Town in League 1. I think we signed him from Leipzig, so I think he's played for England youth teams. But I hope this move works out for him at Shrewsbury, so good luck to Matt Bondswell. Don't know exactly when they're playing Sunderland yet, unless they've already played them twice. Matty Longstaff has went on loan to Mansfield. I was expecting him to go on loan. I don't think he's quite Premier League quality yet. I mean, 5 games at Aberdeen, that worries me. He hasn't played much there. He needs to be probably one of the best players in that league if he's going to have a future with us, especially with this takeover. Realistically, but good luck to Matty Longstaff at Mansfield. You'd expect him to do so well there. But I suppose, you know what it is, League, he could probably do better than League 2, but at the same time, League 2, I think, is a better standard of quality than the playing for your under-23 teams in the Premier League. And the final one is Jeff Hendrick to QPR. Just think, a bit like Woodman, he doesn't have a future here. He hasn't played well, and he hasn't really played much this season. Not done anything wrong this year, but I just don't think he's good enough. We've seen that last season. QPR, another team challenging for promotion. So hopefully they'll buy him at the end. He'll do well then. They'll buy him at the end of the season. Because the big problem is if he doesn't do well at QPR, we're stuck with him potentially for another 2 years. If clubs aren't gonna, pay for him. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for the January transfers. Let us know how you think our transfer windows went. About the signs we've made, players we should have gotten, the players that went out on loan. Also 3 players to be taken out of the Premier League squad because of the new additions, because obviously Woodman and Hendrick are 2 players. Another 3, please. Let us know who you'd pick. But yeah, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to my channel, check out my social media page in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.